Okay, by this time, you should have your term paper completed with your references, some images that you want to use for your term paper and for your WordPress blog or online magazine that we're going to use to feature this term paper. Okay, last video we signed up for an account. We verified that account through our email, and now on WordPress we should be somewhere on a page like this, or we may be back here on a page like this. If you're not here, go ahead and click that back button to the post. This is your main interface or dashboard that you can use to create your online blog, to add posts, articles, images, things like that. Now this is the newer way of doing things in WordPress, and I think it's a little bit harder to use, less intuitive than the older version. So I'm going to show you how to get back, one way to get back to the original dashboard that WordPress used to use. Now if you see a WP admin down here, you can just click that button. That'll take you there, but chances are you don't have that. Another way to get there is go to Settings. Click the Settings button here. Go to Import and Other Imports. Now this is sort of a long way to get back to the old school navigation or dashboard here, which I think is a lot easier to use. If you can find any other way to get here, you're welcome to do that, but I think this is the only way I've really found to do that. Okay, so it has a lot of the same functions, but it's just easier to use, I think, and gives you a few more options. Well, let's talk a little bit about how WordPress is laid out. WordPress is laid out with your home page. Your home page is also where your posts go. So if you make new posts or articles, they'll go on your home page by default. And I can also add new posts. So I can make several posts. I can create a post, which we're going to do in a little bit, create more and more posts, and they'll all show up on your home page. Now we can also add different pages. So if I have pages here, by default, most of your WordPress sites have an About page. And I can click on there and edit that page, or I can add new pages right here. We'll do that in a little bit. Now if I go down here and I click on Appearance, I see there's all kinds of different appearances, all kinds of different things about my website I can change. So let's work on one of those. The first appearance we want to affect are the themes. So I can click on themes here. Now on WordPress.com, they have all these pre-made layouts, and each of them will allow us different amount of adjusting. Okay, but unlike the Dreamweaver projects we've done before, working from scratch, these are all pretty much laid out with the CSS and HTML. So I clicked on themes. You can see there's some free themes, customized themes. There's some themes you can pay for. Well, we want to search for up here all free themes. There's all kinds of themes to choose from, but to get started for this project, we're going to choose 2016. Now if you don't see that here, I'm sorry, not 2016, 2013. I can type in 2013. There it goes, or I can spell out 2013 and search for that. But we want the theme that has these circles at the top here, sort of orange and yellow circles. Now don't worry, we will be able to change that, but that's the starting point. We're going to find that theme, once again called 2013, and activate that. This is a great, simple theme with some good options to get started with, and then you can always change it later if you want. I'm going to close this here. So that's my appearance themes. Now let's go back and add our first post. I can say Add New. Okay, and for this new post, For this new post, I'm going to put the title of my paper up here at the top. So I'm going to pretend I did a report on advertising. Or maybe I'll call it vintage advertising. Okay, it's the name of my term paper. I may put a subline or a subheading down here. The visuals of let's say 20th century advertising by, and then your name here. You're the author. And I hit enter. Now I already have my essay opened here in Microsoft Word. So I can go ahead and copy all that and copy my references. Command C or Control C or right click copy, and I can come right in here into WordPress and paste that in there. There we are. Now I can get rid of extra spaces if there's too many spaces in there. It's deleting some spaces. So you might have to get rid of a few of these spaces. There we are. Now I can also edit some of this text. So I have a few choices here, and if I click this toolbar toggle, it'll give me even more choices for editing my text. So I'm going to highlight this first line. I can make it bold. I can make it italic. I can change it to a different size, heading 1, heading 2. We're familiar with these from Dreamweaver. I'm going to say heading 2 for that guy. That's a little too big. Let me make it heading 3. There we are. I'm going to select the author's name and make it italic. I can also change colors. Things like that. Okay. And I can say publish. Before I do that, one more thing I'm going to do. We're going to set this online magazine or blog up so on the home page, the only thing that appears is a title, an image, and the first paragraph of your term paper. And in order to do that, we can come down here to insert a read more tag. My cursor's down here after the first paragraph. Up here at the top, I'm saying insert read more tag. And there we are. Now I'm ready to publish this, and I'll show you what it looks like with just the text. I'm going to come back later and add images. Okay, after I've published it, post publish, I can view the post here. There we are. There's the name of my online magazine, and we'll be able to change that name so it has spaces and stuff like that. Here's the name of my first post or my first article. We're going to add some images to this. There's my subheading, author's name, and the text of the article. Okay, now that's the actual blog page, or the actual post page or article page. If I click this up here, it goes back to the actual home page. So this is what your home page is going to look like. There's the title of my article, subheading, the author's name, and the first paragraph, and then it says continue reading. So a viewer of your website could click continue reading to access the actual article page with the full text and references of the article. Like I said, we're going to add some images in a little bit. So once again, there's my post page, my home page, which will show all my posts, and by default this makes a about page also. So there's about page. We'll deal with that one later. I come back here. Actually, go back to your site, or go back this way. My site. I guess I should have clicked on the tech design site. All right. Once again, I'm back to this newer interface, so I don't like this one. To get to the old one, I go to settings. Import other imports. And once again, there's that old dashboard, which I think works a lot better and gives you more options. I'm going to my posts, and there you can see the list of my posts. There's my article, Vintage Advertising. Well, let's all go back to your first post here, and let's edit that. So I click Edit, and here we are back to that post page with the text of our article in term paper. It'll show up here in a second. And in our next video, we're going to see how we can start to add some images and videos to the site.